Welcome. You have reached Imperial Reviews, and today's review is Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 4, Episode 7. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's get into it. So this episode was like episode 7. It was like a filler though. I didn't care for the episode too much, but let's just get into it and get it over with. Of course, we seen Unique reveal itself to Raq at the end of episode 6. This episode picks up right there. Unique just having his back and forth. He don't believe Raq. She set him up. She telling him it's all in your head. He said it's not, but he pretty much telling her, he ready to take over everything, take everything back. So that's pretty much the dialogue with that. So after that, you had the next morning you had Lou meeting with Okoye, and she's questioning him about Jess, and she pretty much don't want to be hurt. He telling her, he ain't trying to have her hurt. It's just that two people were mourning of losing the loss of someone, and that was just a moment he had with Jess. But it's she left, and that's all it was. And so he held her hand, she held his hand, and he really liked her or whatever. So from there you had Raq meet up with Kanan, Juke, and Marvin and let them know Unique is there. Kanan started mouthing off to Raq, and Marvin stepped in pretty much like, don't disrespect your moms, you know what I'm saying? And she reiterated that, she cleaned up a lot of Kanan mess and he would be dead if it wasn't for her, so he should be thanking her. And he's like, thank you for messing everything up. And he rolled out. So then Marvin, basically Raq was telling everybody stand down, they can't start no war. And she been playing war in her head, but she ain't trying to move on nobody because they got to find out who's backing Unique. And so after Kanan left, they went to Juke and asked Juke, like, yo, what we going to do about your cousin in his mouth? And Juke was like, listen. So Kanan was like, feeling like they need to just go to war and go at Unique and them. So from there, Peninsula was walking. She dropped her groceries, and of course the grocery rolled to Unique's feet. He showed himself to Peninsula. Of course, it was a reunion moment. Then it went back to Marvin and Raq at the house. This time Lou was there, and Lou pretty much said that statement, letting them know he back in the game to protect his family. So we'll see if Lou get killed. Now it went back to Vanessa and Unique, and Unique pretty much said Raq had something to do with it. Vanessa was back, and Raq pretty much like, nah, I don't think she had something to do with it. It didn't seem like it. So he went into his his rage and pretty much told her, like, how you gonna go against me? You supposed to be backing me out here. So he's real aggressive towards Vanessa. She pretty much grabbed him like, I'm with you. I'm just saying. So then it went to Juke and Kanan. Kanan pretty much told Juke he got a stash that he gonna want to get away from everybody and start his own thing. Juke was pretty much like, nah, I ain't working for you. He was like, nah, you be my partner. You know what I'm saying? And basically telling Juke, like, I trust you more than anybody. And Juke was like, well, right now in my mind, the only thing that's on my mind is to find out who killed Fane. So from there went Raq and Marvin went to go see Pops and Snaps, telling them what was going on. And pretty much they were saying our beef is your beef. Pops pretty much was like, nah. Snaps was like, nah, what you mean us? And they was like, our business is with Kanan. They was pretty much saying, well, he coming after Kanan too. And then pretty much after that, he was like, consider us being warm. So Snaps pretty much is looking at this could be opportunity. They pretty much is rolling with whoever uh, is greasing their palms. Now, also, what I left out is Rock was when Unique was pushing up on Rock, his crew from New Jersey was taking over Rock's blocks, posting up, and they got muscle. So after that, you had Rock and Marvin meeting up with Stefano. Stefano telling them pretty much they need to stand down and take a chill pill. Pretty much looking at Rock like you kind of started this, and you cooler heads could prevail if you would have made peace with Quan. And they letting Stefano know this is over. They're backing Unique. Well, he's backed by somebody or whatever. So Stefano said, "Let me put my ear to the ground." So then they showed Kanan, as we all seen on OC, seeing Kanan going into that lock. Who knows how he know where what lock was actually, what storage unit was actually Kanan's, but the lock was broke off the storage, and when Kanan went into the storage, the chest was empty. So he instantly went looking for OC. Why he just figured it was OC, who knows? So he went looking for OC. Nobody seen OC, but then went back to Raq and Marvin, and they pretty much seeing what they need to, having a talk about what needs to be done. And so Marvin pretty much said we should take out Stefano and get rid of this or whatever. And Raq was like, "Nah, we shouldn't do that. That'll do more good than do more bad than good." So it's a lot of mixed things going on. So then you had Juke. Marvin had a one-on-one. Marvin gave her the gun, pretty much said, "I don't want you living this life. I'm going to get the gun back from you once this is over, but I want you to be protected out here right now." So then you got Rock looking up after Afghan, asked him when the product's going to come. He said in a month. She's like, "F a month. I need a product now." So it showed Kanan pretty much telling everybody, look for OC. And then Juke, now she feeling herself. She rolling around with the gun. She goes to her nightclub. And when she goes to her nightclub, she see the girl that was feeling her a couple episodes ago. The girl pushed, Juke just, after drinking at the bar, drinking a beer at the bar, Juke just grabbed the girl up. They start kissing. After they start kissing, went into the bathroom. She gave Juke some head, and then Juke just went straight cold on her, like a, what I'm saying, straight cold on her, and it was like, "Yo, this ain't that." It was good though. Peace, pretty much. So then it showed B Rilla and his goons. B Rilla froze up, pretty much said, "I can't go in there. They gonna know what I look like." So his goons go in there. Shootout happens. One of the guys gets shot. B Rilla didn't go in though, but come to find out, the exec didn't even live there. He was just renting the house out, and he pretty much, B Rilla was sitting there looking stupid while the exec was listening to music at the studio. So I don't believe they got anything, especially it was a rented house. B Rilla got bad intel. So then you had Stefano meeting up with Marvin and pretty much telling Marvin, "You need to sit Rock aside. She don't understand the game because she's emotional. She's a woman. So, and basically you can fill that role." And Marvin like, "Nah, I don't want that role. And you better watch what you're saying to me." And Stefano like, "Nah, I don't like how you talking to me. It's making me feel uneasy." And pretty much Marvin ain't really back down. And Stefano was basically saying he got to go handle some business, but we're not through talking. So later in the episode, Marvin tells Rock that Phil Russo in New Jersey is backing Unique. And pretty much what they want, um, the two mafia bosses sit back and let the lower players fight it out while they sit back playing chess or whatever. So they like, well, how we need to get from underneath them. So when Kanan pretty much was looking for OC, the young boys told him, yo, check at the arcade. That's where OC typically hangs around. And while Kanan went driving down there, he rode past Raq, where that shop Raq had. And Raq was handing two police officers money. So they still remember the theory that they, with Who Killed Famous, is that there were some dirty cops who killed Famous, and they pretty much Juke and Kanan pretty much thought of like, yeah, even if the cops did it, it came from the streets. It didn't come from, just something they did. So when he seen Raq giving those police officers money, it looked fishy to him. I think that's just like to throw you off that Raq has something to do with it. I just don't see the torture part from Raq or Marvin, but we're gonna see. So then Raq and Marvin had a back and forth. Pretty much, she questioned him meeting with Stefano. He pretty much said, you don't rule me pretty much, and I do what I want to do. And she pretty much is like, you should be upfront with me and tell the truth or whatever. So, but they family, they get over it, but it's showing a little wedge between the two. So when they came in the house, they're at the mom's house, and both brothers are admitting to each other, coming out pretty much saying the mom wanted both of them to inject her so that she won't have to be in pain no more and she could just pass. And of course it was hard for both of them, and to not do that to their mom. That takes a tough person to do something like that. And that would be like, you don't know, the mom don't want to be in pain no more. How you gonna be the person that killed your mom? So we kind of knew, like, had a feeling Raq was going to be the last person to talk to, but it just was like, it just showed you how hard up Raq was. And they was like, well, why didn't she act Raq? They said because she already knew Raq wanted her to suffer. But Raq ended up being the one to do it, because Marvin pretty much, he knew she would do it. He pretty much said, nurse, step outside out back and go talk to your mom. Pretty much telling her indirectly, I know you'll do it, and go handle that, because we couldn't do it. And she talked to the mom. They had a little heart to heart, and Raq, she shed tears, and she pretty much injected her. She killed her mom. She injected her with the stuff and the overdose, but she would go out quietly, not in pain, and she just sleep and not wake up. And she told Raq to look after your brothers and take care of your son. And then Raq squeezed her hand and cried, and that was it. So that was supposed to be the heartfelt moment, but it just showed you how hard out Raq is. And this is going to end raw with Raq. Either Raq will be killed or Raq will end up in jail. But the actress is a dope actress, so you would like to see Raq end up in jail and show up in another Power series or whatever. But her character is so crappy, she got to have a bad ending. So that's pretty much the episode. Like I said, not too much to it. This season has been lackluster. We 7 episodes in, only 8, 9, and 10. We 3 episodes left in the season. There ain't really much going on this season. They they really would have. I mean, they could be setting all this up just to be a dry season, and but you could lose viewership like that. Setting the season up as a dry season only to have a great season 5, but because it's season 5 has already been filmed, I think as well. But nevertheless, that's it. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.